and this is a tutorial for the Computer Networking Security courses Lab 6. In this lab we cover creating certificates for encryption. I stray a little bit from the guide, but I'll let you know when I do that. Let's get started.
Alright, we're going to start here on the course homepage, and off to the left under Course Tools we'll click on Online Labs. Click this link, and that'll take us to the Online Labs page where we want to go down to number 6, which is Relate Windows Encryption and Hashing to Confidentiality and Integrity. So let's click this link. That'll take us to the ToolWire Live Labs page, and if we scroll down and click on the Lab Access link, it should take us to this workstation. Once here, we need to start Cleopatra, so find this icon and double click it. And I'm going to go ahead and maximize this window now that it's up, and go over to File, click on File, and then New Certificate. And we want to click on this Create a Personal Open PGP Key Pair, so click here. And we're going to give it a name. This information that you need to input into these fields are all in the guide. So in my case it's student01 and student01 at vlabsolutions.com, and click next. And check the Show All Details button. I'll give you some more information about it. And then click Create Key. And once this is ready, you'll have some dialog boxes pop up for passphrases. So go ahead and enter the passphrase here. You'll see the passphrase you need in the guide. The instructor may need this passphrase in order to verify your files. So import it again, and then click OK. If that was successful, you'll see it pop up in the back here. And what we want to do is we want to click on this Make a Backup of Your Key Pair. So click here. We need to select where we're going to put it. So let's click this little icon right here. And I recommend clicking on Desktop and saving it there. And then let's give it a name. Let's Student01. Your guide will tell you what you should name it. And it's the secret key files. Make sure that's there. If it's not there, select it. Click OK, and then click OK. And once again, once it's successful, click OK and finish. And here's your certificate here in the list. I'm going to go ahead and expand the columns here a little bit. I'd like to see all the info. Now we need to export this certificate. So let's go ahead and click it, click Export. And once again, click on the desktop, and then we're going to go ahead and give it a name. So look in the guide at what it wants you to name it. In my case, let's see, student VM01 _ public, and make sure that Open PGP Certificates is selected, and down here if it's not, select it and then click Save. And go ahead and close this out. We don't need it now, and you'll see both of our certificates are here on the desktop. You may have a different name for it, but it should end in PGP, and the other one should have ASC at the end there. Now let's go ahead and open up our remote desktop folder here to open up a remote connection. Let's double click on this one and get the remote desktop up. This may take a moment to load. Go ahead and enter the password that's in the guide. And when you're done, click OK. Once the desktop comes up, we will have a little Connect to Server window pop up. The information is already populated, so just click OK. And you can go ahead and minimize this. And now we need to fire up Cleopatra and do the same operation that we did on the last workstation. On this one, we'll just give it the certificates different names. Let's go ahead and get this open, maximize it, and go to File, New Certificate. Once again, click here. And we're going to give this one a different name. In this case, let's just call it Target Win VM01. And for the email address again, targetwinvm01 at vlabsolutions.com. Click Next. And show all details again, why not? And create key. Passphrase comes up. Go ahead and enter what's in the guide. Click OK through all this. And if it's successful, you should see this. And once again, we need to make a backup copy. Same operation as before. Click on Desktop, give the file a name. Make sure secret key files is selected, hit save, click OK, and if it's successful, go ahead and click OK and click finish. And here you are again. Let me stretch these out a little bit. And here's the certificate we just created. And we need to export this one as well, so let's go ahead and click on Export Certificates. Click on Desktop and name this one. Target VM01 underscore public. And make sure Open PGP Certificates is selected down here. And click Save. Successfully backed up. Go ahead and minimize it. And here's your two certificates that you just created here on the desktop. Once again. All right, now we're going to use these. So let's go ahead and minimize this window, close this, we don't need that open anymore, and let's get back to Cleopatra. And to get back, open up FileZilla first. All right, let's maximize FileZilla. We need to, before we open up Cleopatra, we need to actually download the certificate. So let's go to 172.30.0.8, username in the guide's student, passwords in the guide, port 21, and click Quick Connect. Now it's important when you open up this file transfer window that you see that you have a local side and a remote side, and it's important to know where you're at on either side. So on here I'm at CPE, and on this one I'm at the root directory. Anytime you're passing files back and forth, make sure you know where you're at while you're doing it. That way you can find the files later when you need to transfer them and download them for the instructor. So in this case I'm over here on C:PE, right here on the local side. Now the first thing we need to do is on the remote side find the files that we just created, the certificates that we just created on the other system. So in that case, let's stretch this out a little bit and go into Documents and Settings, Administrator, and find Desktop. If you don't see it here, you might have to scroll down a little bit, but there's the files that we created. And we're going to download them. So go ahead and right click on Target VM01 underscore public. So right click here and click on download. And you'll see it pops up over here. The file's right here. And remember, I'm in C:PE, so that's where I'm going to have to look later to find the file. So let's go ahead and minimize this. The guide says to close it, but I recommend minimizing it, and you'll see why later. And let's open up Cleopatra. I'm going to double click on this little icon that's on the right corner that popped up from before, and that'll make it much faster to launch. So now I want to import a certificate. So let's import the one I just downloaded, and I downloaded it to C:PE. And there it is. So click open, and it will successfully import it, hopefully. And then you'll see it landed me on the Imported Certificates tab, and here's my certificate that I created on the other workstation. Let's double click this one, and here's the information populated here in this window. And if we go over to Actions, let's go ahead and click on this Trust Certifications button here. And we want to select, you can read through all these, it's very important to know it, but we're going to use this one. But I can't see my OK and Cancel button, so let me shrink this window down a little bit, because I just don't want to blindly click on things. Now I'm going to click on I believe checks are very accurate, and click OK. And it was successful, so I'm going to click OK and close. Alright, now let's go ahead and, we don't need this up anymore. Let's go ahead and minimize this here. And now we need to we're going to create a text file, and we're going to encrypt that text file. So go to the Start menu, Programs, Accessories, Notepad, and it's got a phrase for us to type in, which is I like information system security. So let's type that in here. I like information security. And because I want to make sure this is mine, I'm going to add and pickles. So then we're going to go over and File, Save, Desktop, and go ahead and type in here. Let's give it a name. I'm going to name mine Lab7. That's what it says in the guide. Make sure it's a text file, hit Save, and close that out. Here's our text file. So if you right click on this, you'll notice now we have the option to sign and encrypt. So select that. And check this box down here at the bottom, remove unencrypted original file when done. That will take the text file, encrypt it, and remove the original text file and leave the new encrypted one there. So click Next, and let's add the certificates we want to use. So go ahead and click the first one, click Add. The second one, click Add, and then hit Encrypt. And there we go, it was successful. And you'll see here our original text file is gone and it's replaced with an encrypted version. And then click Finish. So now we're going to take this file and put it on the remote system and decrypt it. So let's bring up FileZilla again. And you'll notice here it says connection closed by server. You can, if you go to navigate to the other side, it'll automatically do it, but I click this little refresh button here and it automatically reconnects. Let's go ahead and find the file that we just created, which is on the desktop. So let's go to Documents and Settings, Administrator, and then down here to Desktop. And it should populate in a moment, and there it is right there. So let's go ahead and select that. And we're going to put it over here in the desktop. So we're already there, so let's go ahead and right-click on it, click Upload, and it will put it over there on the desktop for the administrator on the other machine. And if you can't find it, scroll around a little bit, but it should show up just right there. There you go. And let's go ahead and minimize this. Again, I don't want to close FileZilla yet. Let's go back to our other remote workstation, and there's our file. So let's right-click on it, and this time we're going to decrypt and verify. So let's go ahead and just click Decrypt and Verify when this window pops up, and type in the phrase that you used when you created your certificate. And there you go, decryption successful. And there it is, there's your text file, and there's the original encrypted one. So click OK, double click on the file, and it should pop up. There you go. And pickles, sweet. So click the X there, and you've successfully decrypted a file. Now we need to get that file back to the other workstation because you got to turn that into the professor. So that's why I leave the FileZilla up on the other side. So let's go ahead and minimize this screen here, bring up FileZilla, click the connection closed again, so click the refresh button up here again, and then find that text file. There it is, and then right click on it, and we're still on our desktop on the local side. See, we're still on our desktop, so let's go ahead and just right click and download, and there we go. Now we have all the files we need back on the original workstation. So go ahead and close this out. You can see our text file is down here where it needs to be. And go ahead and use the file transfer mechanism to download all the files. If you haven't downloaded them some already, turn them into the instructor.
Well, I hope you found that tutorial helpful. If you have any suggestions or recommendations, please leave a comment down below. If you'd like to see any other tutorial done, please send an email at charlie.tutorials@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.